We're about 1 minute after, so let's get going. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We're really glad you're here, and we're excited to talk to you about how to turn your operational data into predictable revenue. Just a bit of housekeeping before we dive in. We want this to be an interactive session, so please ask questions throughout. We'll kind of try and bring those questions into the discussion as we can, or ask at the end. We also have a couple poll questions that um, we would love to have you participate in. Sorry, poll just popped up on my, so I'm going to close that. And we also want to let you know that we are recording the session, obviously, and we'll send that out after. So you can share that or review anything that you need to. And there will be a short survey. So give us your feedback. We want to know how to improve and make sure that your time is used well throughout these sessions in the future. All right. Okay, so my name is Claire Marino. I'm the head of product marketing here at ServiceTrade, and I'm joined by Craig McClellan. Thank you for joining us, Craig. Craig is one of our amazing product managers, working with contractors on a regular basis to understand their needs and get it into the product. So he's been working on our new in-app Smart Insights data and analytics tool, and he's going to be diving in to that today. So thanks for joining us, Craig. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here with everybody today.
Yeah, so you often hear the phrase you can improve what you can't improve what you don't measure. And Craig and I agree with that. And we'd like to take it a step further, because measurement only matters when you can actually take action. And being able to take action means that you have timely data, you have a good view of the data across your business. And so today we're going to spend the next, 45 minutes or less. We're going to try and make sure that we use your time very wisely, in kind of two acts. Our first act, we're going to talk through the service operation end to end, and call out some of the key metrics that our customers have told us are most important, and kind of talk through why are they the most important and what are some best practices to try and improve them. Then Craig is going to kind of dive in and show us some of these concepts live in Service Trade with Smart Insights. So you can kind of see how that analysis and metrics come to life through that tool. So our goal is really that you can walk away with a clear understanding of what to measure, why it matters, and how you can use it to drive more predictable revenue for your business. All right. I love this slide because it captures what we hear all the time from a lot of our contractors. Sometimes your business, commercial contracting can feel like a roller coaster. Planned work mixed with emergencies, no matter how much you try and plan ahead, those emergencies come in and kind of like throw things out of schedule. Twists and turns of, your staff calling in, maybe not being short-staffed and having to kind of work through those unexpected dips in your team. So this is, one of the things that we know contractors love about the business. It is exciting, it is stressful, but sometimes it is chaotic. But at Service Trade, we think that it doesn't have to be that chaotic. And the good news is the balance is actually tilted in your favor. I don't know if any of you who are on the call today were at our digital wrap conference in November, but our founder, Billy Marshall, kind of put this up on the screen and talked about how there's more work available than most contractors can complete. And that puts you in a good position. And that's kind of how we want to focus our day today. It's kind of talking about how do you make the most out of building your service business from predictable, high contract value revenue. Um, and don't burn yourself out and create chaos. Try and focus that work in a way that's going to optimize your team and optimize your work and your technicians. Grow, don't grind. That's another way to say it, right? Focus on the good work, so that you are growing and not grinding. Okay. At Service Trade, we think about optimizing a service business through this framework called the Service Flywheel. And this isn't new. Service Trade has been, for the last 13 years talking about how to drive your service business in a way that makes sure that you are creating more predictable work, making sure that you're um, smoothing out the roller coaster of your service operation. And so this is just kind of like a new way to think about it. And we've been talking a lot to our customers about what are the most important parts of the business and how to measure those parts of the business in order to improve them. And so this operating model kind of starts off with sales, selling, selling, selling high value contracts, maintenance contracts, inspection contracts. They're really the lever that really starts that flywheel going. And once you sell them, you get into scheduling, making sure you're maximizing your technicians, focusing on the good work first. And then when you're on site servicing or inspecting that work, then you're capturing that second revenue opportunity through pull through work, quoting that pull through, and then invoicing, bringing in the cash, and then you kind of do it all over. But the mass of this flywheel is really like those big service contracts, and that really is what starts the wheels spinning. And this is kind of like another way to talk about it, but high mass, that is the more service inspection contracts, making your business spin, uncovering more pull through work, more planned work, less chaos, and happier teams. In real life, when customer calls start coming in, this is a little bit harder than it seems on a slide, right? It's gets chaotic, and you may not always be able to realize what you intend from your business. But what we want to do today is kind of break down the service flywheel and think about how can you do it by taking apart these pieces and focusing maybe in on one or two of these metrics and improving your business step by step. Because really it matters. Like what we've seen over the last years working with you and other service contractors is that the results really speak for themselves. Like our data shows that, 27% fewer emergency calls, higher gross margin, and a reduction in financial volatility.
Mhm.
And that's important. It makes your life better. It makes your team's lives better. It makes your boss's lives better. So that roller coaster can become a little bit more of a less jolting ride. So let's take a second and talk about. Actually, we're going to start with a poll. So we'd love it if you could answer which one of these parts of the flywheel is currently the most challenging for you. Like, where do you find that most challenge? So the poll should be up on your screen. And Craig, what do you think? Like, what do you think we're going to see based on your um,
I'm going to guess that schedule is going to be the highest one. I
okay.
think that that's going to be where we see. So I'm curious what everybody says.
Okay. Sounds great. I actually am gonna I'm torn between quote and sell. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. We got
Yeah.
different opinions. We'll see who's right. We
All
got
right.
bragging rights on the line.
I know. Okay. All right. It looks like our so oh, wait a second.
Yes, I got it.
You were right, Craig. You were right. All right. So it looks like schedule is one of the biggest pain points. All right, sell. All right, I wasn't that far behind,
Mhm.
but 22% of you said sell, 65% of you said schedule. All right. So let's keep that in the back of our mind as we keep talking through this. All right, did I share the results? I'm sorry, I can't really tell. Is it up on the screen? Yeah?
I saw him.
You saw them? All right. All right, I'm going to close that out. Keep us moving. Okay, so now we're going to kind of dive into each one of these parts of the operation. And as I said, this is not new to ServiceTrade. I mean, ServiceTrade has been servicing, we've been building software for commercial contractors in fire protection and mechanical for over 13 years. And, we have over 13 customers, and really our everything we do within the product is focusing on how to improve your service business, improve that recurring revenue model that you built that helps you grow and scale. And in talking to all of those contractors over the last, 6 months to a year, we're kind of like, we really dove into what are these metrics that matter. And so that's kind of what we're going to dig into in each one of these parts of the flywheel. So the first one on the sales side, so this came in second, but contract approval rate is the key metric we're going to look at. And it isn't rocket science. Everyone knows that sales matter, but it is what we find when we talk to our customers is that most commercial contractors don't have a well-oiled sales machine, right? They want to bring in like nice recurring contract revenue, inspection contracts, but it's not easy. So some of the best practices that we've found to improve your contract approval rate are really, really three things. One is to get those proposals out quickly. But to do that, you really have to do the second bullet here, which is like setting up pricing guardrails and proposal templates. Um, a lot of times contractors are really relying on their veteran, salespeople or their leadership team to be able to go out, take a look at what needs to be done, price it out, create the proposal. And that really like reduces the amount of work and the throughput that you can have. So having set up pricing guardrails, proposal templates, it allows like even junior sales to do a really good job without impacting like the consistency of the brand and what you're saying you're going to do and protecting your margins. You know, some contractors you do this with spreadsheets, others do it with other pricing tools. We at ServiceTrade have a sales management module that is a pricing CPQ. It's built into our service management software. And so that can create all those guardrails for you. The third thing is telling the story. So, when you're out walking, and determining like what assets are you going to be putting into the contract. Take the pictures, make sure that you make that proposal, tell the story about how you're going to maintain that equipment, how you're going to inspect that equipment, include all of the information about the regularity of the maintenance or inspection, what's going to be done, which assets or equipment are going to be included, include pictures, all of the information that makes that compelling. So that we have, what we found is that really increases your contract approval rate. Okay, schedule. This is it, Craig. This was the one that everyone said is super tough. So billable hours or um, billable technician time per day or per week or per month. And this one is you know, it sounds easy, right? Schedule the jobs that are in queue. Well, obviously, it's really complex and it gets really hard quickly. Some people say it's an art and it's a science. Your schedulers would probably agree with that. But it is obviously a lot of work. And 90% of contractors say scheduling is really critical and one of the biggest metrics that they need to monitor, like that impacts the revenue that they can deliver. Um, so, a couple best practices, and these aren't new to you. You are doing this every day, or your scheduled dispatch team is doing this every day. But reducing windshield time, reducing drive time, using a map-based scheduler if you're not already doing it, so you can visually see and carve out when technicians are in the same place, or if unplanned work comes up, you can get those technicians to get the nearest technician there. The other is systems of identifying your best jobs, your most profitable jobs, and prioritizing them. I know in service trade, a lot of our customers do that. They have that identified as like maybe a P1 contract or job, and that helps the scheduler and dispatcher to know, hey, that needs to be scheduled first. So if you're scheduling out, the like 2 months out, and you're starting to like fill that schedule, those things go in the first week. It's like get those things prioritized because that work is more valuable than some of the other work that your technicians could be doing. So, optimizing your schedule for the most profitable work, getting that in first into your schedule is really important. I'm gonna like point out something in service trade that is new. Not super new. It's been there for at least a year, but our technician capacity view, which really gives schedulers a real quick view on are you overscheduling, underscheduling technicians? It's just another tool in their toolbox to help, help do this. And scheduling is hard. I mean, here at Service Trade, we're actually working on, you're working with clients, our customers on how do we use AI to optimize this and help take that mental load
Mhm.
off of schedulers and some really exciting stuff we're doing there.
Yeah, and then spoiler alert because I'm
Yeah.
excited to talk about it, but I'm gonna spend a little time on the scheduling piece and some other ways that we can help you with that and give you some better I'm gonna say insights.
Yeah. Insights.
Yeah,
You're allowed to say
and
insights.
I'm allowed to say insights, but around how you're doing with that and how you can optimize. So we're excited to show you that in a few minutes.
Yeah, can't wait. Um, okay, so now technicians are on the ground, they're servicing or they're inspecting. So the other revenue trigger within your flywheel is the pull through revenue. So this is important. So how much pull through, what percentage of your jobs are you identifying pull through? So that's repairs or deficiencies that need to be repaired. And I mean, this is again not rocket science. You guys know this. But it is one of those metrics that really can impact the business and the revenue. That is your revenue growth. So let's see. The opportunity here is really like making sure that when technicians are on the ground, they are documenting, uncovering that work, and getting it into the cycle to be quoted and invoiced later. I think some of the big best performing, contractors are obviously using service trade, but also they might be, if you're not using service trade, then they might be implementing SOPs for technicians. So making sure that there's like every technician needs to document this. They need to do, X number of pictures or make sure that the nameplate is scanned so the asset can be easily quoted. So SOPs are really important. If you're using a mobile app or service trade, for example, reducing that duplicate entry so that the tech only has to enter it once and that's it. So then getting off of paperwork, getting off of calling into the office and giving information. So trying to like make sure that you're reducing the workload on the technician, but the work that they're doing is like enter it and forget it. So it's not one of those. There's not a delay in getting that information back to the office. Um, so a lot of opportunity in this area. So monitoring your pull through revenue, like how often are you uncovering new revenue as your techs are on the ground? Okay, let's ask a poll question. How often are your techs adding attachments when documenting deficiencies and repairs for pull through work?
All right, let's see what we got.
Here we got, sorry.
Also, while we're taking the poll, I see someone has their hand up. We do have a Q&A kind of section that you can type in questions, and then we're going to try and answer some of those. So we are not ignoring you, but I think that's probably the best way to get a question in um, on the call.
Okay, so I think we've got everyone in. I'm going to share the results. It looks like we're kind of right in the middle here. Some of you, it's like 15, 13%, 13% always entering information, rarely entering information, and then 75% most of the time. So I think most of the time is great, but when we get to our next step, which is quoting, our data really tells us that quote approval rate skyrockets when it's like two attachments on the deficiency. So when you're thinking about like how do I help the techs understand the value of like taking pictures of, the equipment that needs repaired, um, it might be talking about that revenue to the business. All right. Okay. So here we go. Time to quote. Um, this is the next step in our process. Sorry, I'm having problems moving my slides around. And quoting why it matters. It's really interesting that this didn't come up in our poll a lot because Craig, I we've heard recently from a number of customers that, they have hundreds of quotes outstanding in like a certain office or they're trying to improve quote velocity. Like, so we've heard a lot about quoting being a back bottleneck. And I don't know
Hmm.
if you're seeing that in some of the data and your discussions with customers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely been an important one, and it's why I'm actually gonna. It's one of the other things I'm going to address in my section is some ways to look at that because I have heard that on so many calls with customers. So excited to hear
Yeah.
what you have to say here.
Yeah. So I think like your work on identifying pull through is lost if you can't get the quotes out the door. And one of the biggest impacts on time to quote, I mean on quote approval rate is your time to quote. So the longer you go with delaying the quoting of that repair work, the less likely a customer is going to approve it. So that percentage goes down significantly. And we've seen good data on that. So the most important things here and best practices are fast, getting that quote turnaround time decreased, but also clear quotes. So making sure that again, there's a story similar to your contracts. Use the tech information, the photos they took, the comments they captured on site
Mhm.
to bring into the quote so that the customer has context on what needs to be repaired. Um, so making sure, those two things are covered is really important. And I'm going to just keep moving because um, I want Craig to be able to show us some stuff live in the product. And then our last piece is invoicing. So the metric here is really days sales outstanding. And again, this is not rocket science to everyone, but are you measuring days sales outstanding, like how quickly your cash flow can is coming back into the business after being invoiced? So these are all principles that are like very obvious, but it's like, are we looking at the metric and how can we improve it? Um, and so, cash is oxygen to any business. So it is important to get the invoices paid out. And I think the big thing here from a best practice perspective is how do you reduce the number of times a customer has to call and ask about a quote? I'm sorry, about an invoice, because either the information is not clear on the invoice about what was completed on site. So again, that story about what was the work that was done, making sure that it's clear, that it is complete, and reducing that call rodeo between customer office tech, asking like what actually happened at this customer site, and then back to customer. Um, and again, Service Trade can help you here, and also AI tools. Like we have some smart AI tools within the platform that help summarize tech comments and get that out on the invoice that provides a customer friendly summary of the service visit and the repair so that, and that happens in seconds, which saves a lot of time as opposed to having to go in and look up comments and summarize it yourself. We're using AI to make that really efficient. All right. All right. So the next thing that we want to do is just like from a summary perspective, we've got these metrics that we've been identifying with contractors that are really important metrics, and they're the levers to kind of like improve the business. How do we take those metrics? How do we see them first off? But because we know that that's a big problem, right, Craig? In the work that
Yeah,
you're doing, it's like making data actionable is a key problem. I don't know if you want to talk a
absolutely.
little bit about that.
Well, it's really, I mean, it is why I'm here. So I started at Service Trade back just in June, and I have worked with data products in the past, but I'm new to the trades, and I have loved being here. Just what you guys do in your businesses is so fascinating. really the goal was to help solve this problem of visibility into this data and making it as easy as possible. And so we launched just back in October ServiceTrade Insights, which is an in-app reporting platform that's available through our new enterprise and premium suites. Um, and it's launched. We've launched with a bunch of great dashboards that I'm going to show you and things. But we've gotten a lot of great feedback from our EA customers and new folks that are using it. And so I'm excited to show you today. Just before I dive in, because Claire, you handed me the mic and now I don't want to give it
Yeah.
back. I just, I, the whole goal of why I'm here and what we've built is to help you all with this.
Mhm.
We view ourselves as partners and helping you not just like do your work, but help continue to improve this. I was on a call last week with a customer, and she was telling me that this year for her business, it's the year of optimization.
Mhm.
And I just love that as a theme because and in her case, it was they're a larger company and they've been doing a lot of acquisitions. And so they're trying to figure out, okay, well, we've got this new company that we just bought, and we've got to understand what their invoice outstanding days are and how their quotes the time to quote and all these things versus the whole of the business and how do we build an SOP for everybody and make sure that everybody's firing on all cylinders. But it may be also maybe you're a smaller customer with us. You don't have as many technicians and you're not doing acquisitions. I live in a small town. And so there are a couple small businesses here that use Service Trade, but like they're not getting a ton of new technicians. There's just not the people here to fill in. And we all know about the skilled labor shortage, but to even just make the most out of the technicians that you have, that's why we've built Service Trade Insights. And
Mhm.
so I'm excited. I'm going to dive in and show you guys what this looks like in the product. And I'm not going to touch on every one of the metrics in the flywheel, but I'm going to kind of talk about some of this. So Claire, I think I just put
Yep.
the request for me to be able to share my screen. All right, let me try again. There we go. All right.
All right. I don't see your screen yet. Okay, now I see it. Great.
Got it. Okay, perfect. So, you guys hopefully are all familiar with Service Trade, and in this account, we've got Service Trade Insights turned on. They've got our new suites, and so I'm going to open this up now. I do want to, before I dive in, just say this is one of our demo accounts. That our solutions architect team, who are amazing, they do a lot of demos with customers. They go in and fill out, they create jobs, they do these things, and so this isn't a full representation of the data you would see, but you'll see all the charts and things that we've built as we go along. So, um, to get you going with Insights, we have 14 dashboard templates. And then, spoiler alert, there's a 15th coming tomorrow, which I'm very excited about with parts manager data. So, but for the ones that are currently there, we have things like looking at your financial performance of, invoice revenue, profit margin. We look at looking at your business through the lens of an investor. This actually came out of one of our DWC presentations that I was a part of, where we actually had an investment group talk about what they look for in contract businesses, and we put these metrics into a dashboard for you. Um, we have looking at comparing your offices if you're a multi-office business. And all of this data is coming directly from Service Trade. So for those of you, we've got a lot of current customers here on this call. If you've been with Service Trade for years, you've got years worth of data in here as soon as we get insights enabled for you. And it's coming to you really fast. We've got a sub 30-minute refresh time. So when you execute something in Service Trade, it shows up here really quickly for you. You're not having to wait days for that to update as well, which is really exciting. We're going to actually be diving into these operations dashboards as well as the tech productivity dashboard. Those are the main ones that I want to touch on today as they tie into those metrics. But you can see we've got a lot of choices here just to help you even get started. So I want to start looking at that scheduling and service piece through our tech productivity dashboard. So I'm going to open this up, and Claire mentioned billable hours. And that is super important, but there's a lot that actually goes into billable hours, right? This is the thing that I have loved about being here is I get to dive into all these metrics and their definitions. I spend a lot of time of my days doing that. And so when we look at this tech productivity dashboard, we are showing you like straight up. And again, our solutions architects, they're only clocking in on site when they're doing demos. But you can see we've got just over the last 4 weeks, what's our total on-site time versus windshield time? And that's, right there as soon as you open this up. And what's your monthly revenue per tech? And so hopefully we're starting to see that line go up as you do some of this work. But it also looks at, are we sending the right technicians to the right job types? Claire, I think you mentioned
Mhm.
certifications and some of those things, right? So you guys are all familiar with job types in service trade. Well, we look at how each technician, the margins that they're getting on those job types. And so I just want to highlight here, we've got a couple of these technicians that their inspections, they've got really low margins for a fire business, which this demo account is for. If you've got inspection margin that low, that's probably a training issue. But the point being, you can look and see how do I help increase this margin? Is it training? Am I getting the right technicians on the right job type based on their skills? But you have to have the data to be able to begin to take that action.
Yeah.
Um, we also have a technician time breakdown. So for each technician, you can see we break it down by their clock events on site, en route, on break, and job prep. And these folks are doing a great job being on site most of the time. And also, I do want to point out that you can filter this whole thing by your offices. So you can only see specific ones or specific texts. So we want to make that easy to slice and dice your data how you want. Claire,
Yeah,
you
give you the
also,
option to drill in where you see, oh,
yeah,
we've got a problem, maybe this technician, how do I help optimize their work?
yeah, exactly. And I'm even going to show you some more ways to do that. But Claire, you were also talking about deficiency attachments. And so this is showing you out of all the deficiencies, and this looks at over the last 4 months by default, or sorry, 4 weeks. Um, what percentage of those deficiencies had attachments? So Kevin here is crushing it. Every single one of his deficiencies had an attachment. But Mita, who's my friend at Service Trade, so I can rag on her a little bit, but she only did it 80% of the time. So there's opportunity there to help increase that quote acceptance by making sure that she is adding attachments to those deficiencies every time. And there's one other one, I could go through this is I got hired because I'm a data nerd. I could go into all of these, but there's one other one that I want to shout out here. And I saw my friend Cassie is on this webinar, and I'm grateful she's here. She was one of our EA testers, and this came from her. This was inspired by her and some of the work that she and her team do. So, Cassie, thank you. So, this looks at each of your technicians, and it takes the total clock hours that they uh, incurred over the last 4 weeks and the revenue from each of those jobs. And I know some of you are probably going, ooh, how do you determine how much revenue for each person? I'm going to be a nerd and tell you now. So let's do an example where a job was 10 hours and one technician was there for 6 hours and one was there for 4 hours. We just split that revenue 60-40 that way. So I'll get a little data nerdy with you on that one because that's maybe the number one question I'm asked. And so then we take that and give an hourly revenue for that technician over the last 4 weeks. So for each hour that they worked, approximately how much revenue did they bring in for you?
Yeah.
So it's not just are we working the right amount, are we on site the whole time, but billable hours can expand to are we actually earning enough money from those billable hours? And we want to be able to show you that. And then these are actually links. Speaking of taking action and helping your techs, these are links to those technician pages in Service Trade. You're already in Service Trade, so we want to be able to make it easy to get over there.
Yeah.
Um, so that is on the service front and the scheduling front in terms of helping you make sure that you're making the most of your technician time. I also want to go ahead and look at our two operations dashboards. So you'll notice we have performance and exceptions. So we want to show you how you are doing and then how you can improve what you're doing as well. So we're going to look at this, and this hits a lot on the quoting and invoicing section that Claire talked about. So the first step to knowing, how many days outstanding is our invoice. Well, we need to first look at from when we finish a job, how quickly are we actually sending that invoice to a customer? And so this it shows you the average number of days between job completion and invoice creation. And this is broken down by office. Again, you can filter by the whole dashboard by different offices, but you can see uh, kind of this pattern shaping out and then begin to start taking action. Well, this office takes a lot longer to get an invoice created after a job is done. So we need to improve that. The days to create jobs after quote acceptance. That's another piece. So when we're following the flywheel around, we to go from quoting to invoicing, there are jobs in the middle of that. There's work that you
Yeah.
guys are doing.
Yeah.
And so we need to show you how quickly are we getting to that step as well. And so we've got that for you and your quote approval rates. And the final pieces are average days for your quotes to be accepted or rejected and for invoices to be paid. So all these things that we're talking about, when you are doing the work in service trade, we're able to report on this for you.
Yeah, and
But
Craig, I was
then,
going to ask,
yeah,
I'm guessing this is real-time data or near real-time data that we're
yeah.
looking at
So
here.
let's say that an invoice gets paid, then that would reflect here in Insights in about 30 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, making sure because we know how important this is to your operation, so we want to stay on top of that for you. But we also, again, we're trying to partner with you here. We're not just trying to show you how you're doing. We want to help you improve how you're doing on these metrics. And so we've built these exceptions dashboards. And so we're starting out here are deficiencies that can be quoted, meaning a quote has not been sent. And then not only that, but this is a link to that deficiency in service trade. So I can open that up and it'll open in a different tab. And I don't want to deal with switching the screen sharing, but you guys are familiar with our deficiencies pages and how to
Mhm.
quote from there. So you click that link and you go and actually take action on that. And so you've got deficiencies to be quoted, quotes that haven't been accepted or rejected that you need to follow up on, jobs that are complete but that have not been invoiced, or
So
jobs.
you could
Yeah,
hypothetically have like team members just working from this page, like sorting like the longest days outstanding, following up,
yeah.
getting kind of like knocking those out.
And I've talked to a lot of customers who are starting to work with their service managers to like be in these pages and looking at them every day, making sure and kind of making this kind of a command center of action for their work that they're doing.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. And again, these are links to the job page in Service Trade or, the invoice or whatever it is. So we want to make sure that you are able to actually continue to grow in your quoting and your invoicing and your technician time, those kind of things.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish we had a poll question that would have asked, like, how much time would it have taken you to get this data together, as for in the current state if you're not using Smart Insights. And I know when we were doing research for building out our in-app insights, dashboards, we asked those questions. And do you remember like what some of the data points were around how much time it was taking customers to get to some of the data that we have right here?
Yeah, well, first of all, it was a matter of like, could they even gather it? And
Yeah.
maybe it was exporting a CSV out of Service Trade. And I don't want to, diminish the great work that's done in Service Trade before we
Yeah.
got here, before we had this. But a lot of it was really manual. And so just having it here in product, or instead of having to pull it into another system and do the analysis there, um, you've got it right here and then the links to it. And I'm actually going to answer, I see Chris's question in the chat, and so I'm just going to go ahead and answer this one. um, so Chris, once you make a dashboard, so Chris is saying, I because I don't know, hopefully you guys can see, I put his question up. I'll just go ahead and answer the question. Once you make a copy, when you pull a dashboard in, it becomes yours, and we don't want to update or change that for you. And so we added in those links after we launched. And so you must have been with us since the beginning because we launched the quote, the links pretty quickly. But if you just recreate that dashboard, you can pull that in, or you can change any of the metrics from quote number to quote link. So I'll just go ahead and answer that one
I
there.
know it's hard when we don't have a chat that we can't
Yeah,
like see if Chris is that's making sense to you, Chris, but hopefully it
yeah.
is.
He
Otherwise,
said he responded
oh, he
perfect. I
did.
see it
Okay.
in the Q&A. So yeah. There
Awesome.
is one more thing though, because hopefully, I mean, hopefully you guys are my data people. You guys are excited about this. I've got the right audience here. I don't just want to save your text time with what we're doing. Um, and I want to save you time. So yes, we've got all the data here and it's super handy. And we've got all these great dashboards, and folks like Cassie and other people contributed and helped us understand what are the most important dashboards. And we're adding more all the time. That's one of my favorite things. But we are never going to be able to come up with every single chart or every single answer to every question that you have about your business, because if I've learned anything since being here, all of your businesses, while you do a lot of the same things, you handle things differently. And
Hmm.
so we want to make it really easy to get answers, even if it's not one of the ones that we provide by default. And so we've done that with Smart AI, and this is available for our enterprise suite customers. So, I'm going to be honest, typing the word deficiency is live in front of people is one of my like nightmares. I never get it right. Okay, I got it right that time. So I'm just going to ask Smart AI, show me a line chart of monthly deficiencies identified over the last year. So going into that service piece of the flywheel. And we're all familiar with using a chatbot at this point, but accounted deficiencies monthly over the last year. And I can see, oh, this is going up. This is good. But I can also ask a follow up question. So let me ask how many of these have been quoted? Also, I'm Jenny today. Jenny is one of the amazing people on Claire's team, and I always log in as her. And so
You don't look like Ginny, but that's
I
all
don't
right.
look like Jenny. And now it's added a filter to is the deficiency quoted true? And I can quickly compare how many of those are deficiencies have been identified and how many are quoted. So we want to make it really easy for you guys to get data as well. And so that's why Smart AI is here. So you can ask questions of that.
Yeah. And I do love the usability of like smart insights in general because it's very clear like the metrics you're looking at and the ability to ask additional follow-up questions using the natural language prompting. I think that's been really helpful with customers kind of getting used to the tool and using it, effectively without a lot of training.
Yeah.
So that's been something we've heard. And as we continue to improve, that's going to get even better and better. But
Yeah.
really good feedback on that. So good job, Craig, on building.
Thank you. And I will shout out if any of you already have this or you're interested. It is really easy to use, but also we have a great e-learning team here at Service
Yeah.
Trade, and we just launched the e-learning platform for this, and they did such a good job with it. So I'll shout them out as
And
well.
that's
And
called like Service Trade Academy, right? So
yes,
like if that's what
yes,
you would know, our customers would know it as. There's a new module specifically on insights that kind of goes through how to use it. And it's like a learning content. So it's great.
yeah. And we continue to add more and more data points. We've got a release coming tomorrow with the parts manager data coming in and a lot more info around jobs and lots of things like that. So this is, it's new. Like I said, we launched at the end of October and we are continuing to evolve. We didn't launch with that tech productivity dashboard that I showed. So those are things that we've added in iterating even just since October. So excited to add more for you guys. So yeah, and even things around the rest of the flywheel that Claire mentioned that I just didn't have time to get into. So we've got a lot here, a lot more coming,
Hmm.
and excited for this. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to hand it back
Yeah.
to Claire because you're going to talk takeaways from this and some next steps for folks.
Yeah, exactly. And I there was one question about financial reporting and statements. And I'll just verbally answer that because I don't know exactly. I think this was James. I'm sorry, I'm trying to balance my windows here. But Service Trade integrates with kind of like all the major accounting and ERP systems. We have native integrations with a lot of them. So we can provide that follow-up information. It's just like depending on what you use. Service Trade customers often they rely on that part to do financial and accounting, but Service Trade integrates and all that data flows through. So we can answer that question or connect you with one of our CSMs that can provide more detail on whichever integration you're interested in specifically. But yeah, outcomes and next steps. I mean, we are about at time. So if we didn't answer your question, we will follow up directly with you. We'll capture those. But just a reminder about this idea of this operating model of your service flywheel optimizing your reoccurring revenue across all of these pieces of your business. And some of the things Craig and I were thinking about on this right-hand side, next steps to get started was just kind of how do you make this actionable? How do you think about this in your own business? You identified areas that are challenging. So sales came up as a challenging area, scheduling. Some of you had other parts of the business process that are challenging. So focus in on those metrics we identified today and kind of start tracking them if you're not already, or like metrics, like the closest metrics that you can get to, you know, technician billable hours or pull through revenue, or contract approval rates. Start measuring them. If you're not using ServiceTrade today, obviously we'd love for you to take a look at us and start using things like Smart Insights. If you are using ServiceTrade today and haven't really dug into Smart Insights, our team is ready to help. And like Craig said, we've got great training resources available to you, to all of our ServiceTrade customers. So, you know, set up those, goals, like one metric this year, two metrics this year. Create a team and think about, once you have a view of where you are today, determine what your actions are and what your goals are, and start kind of documenting, those changes and seeing if those
It's
levers
the
move.
year of optimization, Claire.
Yeah, a year of optimization.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and experiment with AI. We're working on a lot of AI projects for
Yes.
service trade internally. Like I mentioned, we talked about scheduling. We're working on some projects there, hopefully bringing that to market in the next months. But you can also think about other ways to use AI to improve efficiency in some of those parts of the business that might uh, improve those metrics yourselves. So we really appreciate you spending some time with us today. We got to a couple of the questions. Some of them were more detailed, so I apologize if I couldn't switch over and answer some of those, but we will definitely get back to you directly with answers to your questions. Craig, any last words?
Nothing for me. Let's see. Sorry, we've got a couple more questions coming in, so I just
Oh,
want to make
really?
sure.
Okay, let's take a
Yeah,
look.
I
I
think
love question dash.
there.
Go ahead if you.
Let's. We'll take away. I know there's some questions on some testing, but I think one of Megan's questions, Claire, I think especially talking some, you could speak to sales manager around contract creation and some of those things.
Yeah, I think Megan, we can definitely follow up with you with more detail about the sales manager product. It does do contract creation, proposal creation. It is very good at multi-year, multi-asset contracts, like better, best options within like one contract. And I know you asked about being able to upload price books. So I need to get back to you on that. But I think just overall, we'll follow up on that. And then AI testing for scheduling. Yes, we are working on, we just kicked off an early adopter program for this scheduling work. It is very small right now, but we can connect you with your CSM or account manager and we can get you added to that list, Matthew. So hopefully that sounds good. Great. Okay. Okay, so again, just thanks so much for your time today. I hope it was beneficial for you. If you are a first-time visitor, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to answer additional questions about the Service Trade platform and how it connects into your
Mhm.
technology in infrastructure, your tech stack. And then if you are a Service Trade customer, we are so happy to have had you today. And reach out to your account manager or your CSM with any additional questions, but we want you to start using Insights because we want to hear your feedback so we can continue to improve it and make it as actionable as possible. Anything else? All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.